The city was waking up. Sunlight bounced off the gilded edges of Buckingham Palace's gates, while early tourists gathered, eager for a glimpse of British tradition. Standing motionless in the center of it all was Sergeant Noah Whitmore, 35 years old, a Queen's Guard with 10 years of service, and a heart more scarred than anyone could guess. The bearskin hat, the gleaming rifle, the uniform pressed with military precision. He was perfect, at least on the outside. Inside, there were old ghosts, a sister lost young, promises broken by forces beyond his control. Among the crowd, weaving between legs and strollers, was a small girl, no more than 6, wild brown curls, a simple blue dress, slightly torn at the hem. She carried a pink backpack far too large for her tiny frame. Her name was Emily, and she was alone. Emily clutched her backpack tight and approached the line of guards. Tourists barely noticed. Most were busy taking selfies or adjusting camera angles. But Sergeant Whitmore noticed. He saw her hesitate, saw her lower lip tremble. And he did what he was trained not to do. He looked down. Their eyes met. Huge brown orbs filled with confusion, fear, and hope. Emily mouthed something. "Help!" Protocol screamed inside Whitmore's head. "Remain still. Do not engage. Protect the post. Protect the image." But the oath he had made as a child, the promise to always protect those who couldn't protect themselves, burned hotter. Emily stood there, waiting. No parent rushed in. No tourist even noticed. She tugged softly on the hem of his uniform. Whitmore didn't flinch. Couldn't. But deep inside, he made a decision. A silent promise. A palace steward noticed the girl, crouched down, asked questions. Emily shook her head. Tears welled in her eyes. She backed away, through the fence, into the crowd. Gone. Whitmore's heart raced beneath the brass buttons. He wanted to move, wanted to follow. But he stood rooted to his spot, a living statue of conflict. Only his eyes, sharp, trained, scanning, followed her. "I will find you," he thought. And somehow, Emily seemed to hear it. She glanced back once before vanishing into the swarm. For the rest of his duty shift, Whitmore fought with himself. Every second, he imagined her wandering alone through London streets. Every muscle in his body screamed to move. When the shift change finally came, when the relieving guard took his place, Whitmore stepped back, saluted, and instead of heading to the barracks, he walked into the crowd. He stripped off his bearskin hat, loosened the top button of his collar. He wasn't Sergeant Whitmore now. He was just a man chasing a promise. The crowd swallowed him up, and the search began. The city was a maze. Whitmore wove through the crowded streets near Buckingham Palace, his sharp eyes scanning faces, backpacks, tiny sneakers peeking under crowds. He retraced every possible path. Buskers strummed guitars. Vendors called out deals. Tourists flooded souvenir shops. No sign of the blue dress. No pink backpack. "Don't lose her like you lost your sister," a voice inside whispered. He shook the thought away and moved faster. At the corner of Green Park, he spotted something. A pink backpack, abandoned near a bench. He rushed toward it. Inside, a small notepad, a broken crayon, a crumpled envelope with a childish scrawl, "To Daddy." His chest tightened. No wallet, no address, just those 3 silent clues. He glanced around desperately. Emily was still out there. As he moved, flashes from his own childhood flickered. His little sister, Chloe, clutching his hand at a crowded fair. His parents' argument echoing down empty halls. The afternoon Chloe wandered off and never came back. They never found her. Not really. And the guilt had followed him into the uniform, into adulthood, into silence. You couldn't protect her then. Don't fail this time. A street cleaner pointed him toward St. James's Park. Saw a little one crying. Ran that way. Whitmore sprinted, pushing through the afternoon crowd. In the distance, near the lake, blue fabric. A small figure sitting alone by the water, head bowed. Emily. Whitmore slowed as he approached. He didn't want to frighten her. He knelt a few feet away, removing his gloves slowly. Emily looked up. Her eyes widened, but not with fear, with recognition. The silent man from the palace. She crawled toward him. No words needed. He opened his arms gently, and Emily threw herself against his chest, sobbing. He didn't speak. He just held her, like he wished someone had held Chloe. After a long, silent moment, Emily pulled back and pointed to her notepad. On one page, drawn in crayon, was a map. A house. A park. A man with a beard and sad eyes. Whitmore realized she wasn't just lost. She had run away. And someone who needed her, was waiting. Police cars rolled past the park entrance. Someone had probably reported a missing child by now. If he turned her over, he would go back to being a guard, a statue, silent. But if he helped her find the man she drew, if he helped her complete her mission, maybe he could redeem a lifetime of silence. Maybe he could keep this one promise. Whitmore hoisted Emily gently onto his shoulders. She pointed ahead, guiding him across London's maze of side streets and alleys, using only gestures and nods. No words passed between them. Only trust. Sirens wailed faintly in the distance. The city moved around them, unaware of the silent mission unfolding within it. Finally, at the edge of an old working-class neighborhood, Emily tugged Whitmore's hair softly. She pointed to a small, worn-down house with peeling blue paint. Sitting on the steps was a man, disheveled, bearded, holding his head in his hands, exactly like the crayon drawing. Whitmore's chest tightened. This wasn't a kidnapping. It wasn't abandonment. It was separation, born of pain. Emily wriggled down and ran forward. "Daddy!" she cried, voice hoarse but pure. The man lifted his head. His broken expression melted into disbelief, then into raw, overwhelming love. He ran to her, scooping her up, clutching her as if trying to fuse her back into his soul. Whitmore stood back, watched, let it happen. Through halting, tear-choked words, Whitmore learned the story. Emily's father, Daniel, had lost custody temporarily after a mental health crisis following his wife's death. Emily had been placed with relatives who didn't care for her. She had run away, searching for the only person she trusted. She found her way back using only memories and a crayon map. Whitmore listened in silence. He understood more than he could say, because once he too had needed someone to fight for him, and no one had come. Daniel looked at Whitmore. Tears ran down his face. "Thank you. Thank you for breaking the rules for her, for not standing still." Whitmore shook his head. "No rules broken," he said quietly, voice rough with emotion. "Just a promise kept." Later that night, back at the barracks, the captain called Whitmore in. "You left your post." A heavy pause. "Why?" Whitmore met his superior's gaze, calm and unflinching. "To protect something more important than appearance." The captain studied him. Then he nodded. "Dismissed. And well done." Some silent battles didn't need medals. Some victories were understood without being announced. Weeks later, on a bright afternoon, Whitmore stood at his post once more. Tourists bustled. Phones clicked. Life carried on. But in the crowd, near the front, stood Emily and Daniel, smiling. Emily waved shyly. Whitmore didn't break posture, but he blinked, slowly, deliberately. A tiny act of rebellion. A silent promise, renewed. And Emily beamed. In that moment, duty and humanity stood side by side. Exactly as it should be.